So this is the VSM remote that I'm including. It has a negative relief on the back side for your forefinger. Okay, so that brings your thumb right to the sweet spot, which is the start-stop button, the one you have to use constantly. Okay, so it boots automatically when you boot up to VSM standard version. The other versions are in here, and you can easily create shortcuts to the desktop for any and all of them. This is a programmed remote. It has all the regular buttons, which have the words on them to tell you what they're for. And then there's these 9 programmable keys that I'll get into in a few minutes. Anyway, the basic structure, the basic system setup is squeeze, squeeze. If you're not getting crisp starts and stops, it's because you're hitting the button too quickly. Just squeeze the button and it'll always start, it'll always stop. Okay? And here's a feature that you may or may not know about. I love this feature because every referee is going to make a mistake once in a while on a machine that has the time and the score. Okay? And all of a sudden you hit the wrong button and you've reset everything. And you go, uh-oh. Well, no problem. Hit it again. You unreset it. I love that feature. Okay? Your volume control is right here. Now, one of the programmable buttons, there's no volume control on the main buttons. But what I've done is I've programmed the number 7 and the number 9 to go down and up, respectively. So if I want to increase the volume, you'll see something happening here a little bit. That's up. Oops, gotta stop it. So it is controllable from a distance. You don't have to come over here and slide your finger, which you could, of course, do as well. So all these features are basically controllable from here. Okay, so the assignable keys, I'll put a little note in here with it that tells you what each one of these is. I'll just go through them real quickly. One changes from toggles from small lights to large lights, but we never look at those because the LEDs are incredibly bright. 3 takes you to the enhanced information display, and you got to really read the manual to understand that. It's quite a sophisticated tool, and I don't think this works using endpoints, so you might never even use it. And then this, again, this is a nice diagnostic. If you're having a problem, like you've got a bad LeMay or whatever, you can use this with your weapon to test a LeMay, to see what's going on with the connections left across and left and right. Very useful tool for troubleshooting, at least with wires. And that button again. Middle one is not programmed. And then 7 and 9 are the volume controls. So reset, boom, ready to go. Okay, well, you're going to have fun exploring this. I hope you guys actually fence, because it would be a shame to have this machine and your incredible endpoint system and not do it, okay, not be able to fence. So the last little bit is I'm including some strips of Velcro. At, for instance, our club, we hang things like a remote control, little piece of Velcro here. There's enough space on this side because of the offset of the cover plate to hang a remote. Just a little tab of Velcro right here holds that fine. You don't have to use it. If you've got places to set stuff, great, but these come in real handy because our stuff is in close proximity and it's nice to have it right at your fingertips. So you've got plenty of Velcro to do whatever you want. Also, there is this type of stand which I can include because it'll fit in the box. And there is this type of stand. And this just sits on the table. Again, leans it back 15 degrees. And we always put a Velcro tab on here, and a Velcro tab so that, you know, it can't vibrate off. And the same stand without these wings on the sides is a great wall mount stand. So just assume these aren't there, and you can screw this to a wall or to a column or whatever. And with ours, we learned to put a little tiny bit of wood in here to tilt it forward a few degrees so that, you know, you're working at a really good angle. And again, when you start hooking this, I mean, this is a wonderful machine just as it is, and it's plenty big now that we've changed the program to have much larger numbers for the small screen. But when you attach an HDMI device to it, it's pretty amazing. So I hope you enjoy this, and again, thank you for trusting me and sending me that unit. It's just a real kick, a real fun thing to have at the club. And I actually have a couple students. Who have never fenced with wires, only with your system. And this one 10-year-old girl who's a little phenom, her first time she brought her electric gear was the night that the endpoint arrived, and I had it set up, and we went to use it for the first time. And she was the first one there, as always. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You're so lucky. You're going to fence for the first person ever in this is historic. You're going to fence without wires." And she was, "Ooh," and rightly so. So anyway, she fences with it, and she's sort of impressed, you know, just at fencing electric, period. And the next time she comes, again, now we've got 2 strips, and so she fences with wireless again. And the third time she comes, she fences with wireless again. And the 4th time she comes, it's a real busy night, and we have 6 strips, and so she had to hook up and fence with wires. And she had never done it before, and she needed help. I mean, she could walk up, tag on, she's ready to go with your system. It took 3 minutes to teach her, you know, everything that I know. So anyway, she's standing there and she's struggling, and she's looking at these wires, and she's going, "Coach, really? This is so primitive." I'll put that on fencing.net. It's just cracked me up. Anyway, enjoy. Oh, one very brief push. We'll shut it down. And you turn this power switch off. It's lit, so you know. Okay. And if you're going to put it back in the bag, you know, you can just rip its legs off, and you will be good to go.